Hi, everyone. Today is Thursday, May 13th, 2021, and we're here for the weekly crypto review with MooAnt. And MooAnt and I were having a little chat in the green room, but everything technically is working fine. So we wanted to get started, and he forgot. So that's why the little 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 comes up on the screen. But if you're not looking at the screen,
no. No, I'm usually in my own little world. So, what can we talk about? I think you're having a pretty busy week. I'm having a pretty crazy busy week. Lots of changes. We think this next month is going to be pretty wacko. Pretty happy about the market, actually. I'm seeing a lot of people not be too thrilled, but I'd like to talk about a concept today, maybe when we get into it, that maybe will help people feel better about where they're at. But I think before we get started, what are your overall thoughts on the market? I'm actually pretty happy about today. Why am I happy about today? A lot of the things I've mentioned over the last month that, I treat Ethereum like a stable coin. And a lot of my, what I would call lower alts are just booming against ETH. So what does that mean? It makes me as happy as if my alts were booming against USD. So when I see these alts booming against ETH, it's pretty clear what I need to be doing. So very, very happy. I'm actually very, very excited today. It's wonderful, wonderful day in crypto.
I felt very, when I saw it, it did not surprise me because it must have been the Advanced and Premium live stream on the weekend. Actually, I did a lot of live streams on the weekend. I did a YouTube one as well.
Yeah. You've been pretty busy.
Yeah, exactly. But so much is going on. I mean, people were like, what about the Shiba Inu coin and what's going on with this and what's going on with that? And, and my overall message to people is, once you make a crazy amount on a coin or token, there's nothing wrong with taking a profit and thinking about it in a positive way that other people are going to buy this now and be prepared to hold it for a couple of years and therefore supporting. You're just passing the baton. And why shouldn't they make a return on it as well? I mean, after all, for being early and losing so much, doing all the stupid things we do, like I was just lucky I could get my theta out of ERC20 jail that I sent it to, and it wasn't a big deal when it happened because it was only $500 or something. I'll get that later.
Yeah, I love it.
I know. And then it goes to like 6 figures and I'm like, when you were ever sorry you did something. I was having one of those moments in crypto. So I continue to learn life lessons. But anyhow, all kidding aside, I was asked about this, if there would be another big pullback in the market, because somebody said, when are we going to just keep going up with no pullbacks? And I'm like, well, never. There's always going to be, there's another one coming up. I said, but instead of like before, I think what did we go to? 2.4 trillion and we pulled back to 1.8.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I think you're right.
And then this time I said that we wouldn't pull back to 1.8 this time. And just like last time, I said when there was a pullback, we would come back at we would do a higher high. And we did. We hit 2.5. Yeah. So and these are the things that the editors are pulling off for clips now. We're pulling all of that off because you just hear the story and now I'm trusting it. And I'll tell you, I feel good like you do because you guys all know I took a lot of profit from Doge. And what I decided to do was send it to Ethereum. But I hadn't bought Ethereum yet because I don't FOMO into stuff, right? I follow my own rules. So there it sits in cash on the Bittrex. And I will wait for the right time to press the button and get some Ethereum on its way down, and just put it in there until I figure out what the heck I'm doing. I mean, I might be cashing it in a month or two, but that's one of the, like I said, it's a blue chip. I know that it's not going away. And and I wouldn't put my money in Bitcoin because what's happening with Bitcoin is that it is starting to capitulate because people are getting educated. Look at Raoul Paul. He wasn't in there like freaking 5 minutes and he was on to Ethereum and then he was on to Polkadot and all the stuff that we've been talking about for a while. The stuff that folks on my hobby channel bought a long time ago. Most of us got in on Polkadot, not in the ICO, which that would have created a lot of anxiety because of the hack that happened. Polkadot lost a huge amount of money in a hack of their wallet, but they still recovered from it. I mean, Polkadot is amazing, and they are starting to do stuff on Crowdcast that will educate, the average person who holds Polkadot and wants to stake it and be involved in it. And, that's one that is still going for a very inexpensive price compared to, look at Ethereum. It's at $3,835 right now. Yeah. Most of us bought our nodes when Ethereum was $150. So just our equity in our investment in Ethereum alone, but the fact that it's something that, could be earning a significant income in just a few months. And Polkadot, I feel, is in the same spot. I feel like it's really strong around $40, like that. Anything under $40, that's a steal for Polkadot. Because if you see Polkadot going into the 400s, for example, and you're able to earn an income and earn Polkadot, stake it while you're holding it, that's a significant increase in your equity as well while you're supporting this great project, which is spawning off so many other projects that are doing really well, like Kusama.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm super excited. I was checking out so there's so many things you mentioned there. I want to clue people into a guy named, because I think this marries well with your ETH narrative. This is a guy named Frank Chapparo. He's very entrenched within fintech world. He's a data analyst for the block. He's done lots of things within the legacy world, but I thought this was amazing just yesterday. This guy has so he's tied into a lot of OTC desks. He's tied into a lot of institutions, and I just love this. Just spoke to a large investor, 1 billion plus, who said the retail market is underestimating the amount of institutional capital sitting on the sidelines for Ether by 1 to 2 orders of magnitude. And I love this. But if anybody wants to swing on by every once in a while and check out this guy, pretty interesting. And then I can almost feel people scratching their heads because I'm so excited about today. So let me show you what I mean. If you're a person that treats ETH like a stable and you feel like ETH has a bright future, when I have tokens like Kusama that are up 25%, and earlier today I think it was up 40%, or what was another one, Energy Web token that was up 80% against ETH. This makes me very happy because I can go out and I can get really nice ETH for my alts. We're even seeing 88 to ETH here at 21% gain. So this is what I'm talking about. So on days like today, I do hear some of our friends say, oh man, another red day, or, oh man, I want to move money in. But to be honest with you, some of us treat these days as not a day to bring new capital in, and we don't treat it as a day to pull capital out. What we do is, this is an happy asset correlation day is what I would say about today. All these assets are correlated, and just like in the game of poker, whatever hand you're dealt, you still have to play that hand. And if you're playing the way I'm talking, you're very happy about days like today where you can get a bunch of ETH. So I'm super stoked. Very, very happy. What else do I want to say? I was checking out the Parachain auctions. I'm going to post a link, but I actually just lost my link. I went to click on it and it's gone. So I'd like to post some test nets for the Rococo testnet. So there's a really nice Explorer for that, and a really nice Explorer for Kusama, and a really nice Explorer for Polkadot. And I think there's 7 parachains running right now on that Rococo testnet, which is really, really super exciting. DOT has always been one of our favorites, and very, very happy to see the direction that that's moving in as well. Cannot wait for parachain auctions to, looks like Kraken's going to fully support those. So that's pretty exciting. So very, very happy.
Well, we knew it was moving in that direction, and I just say keep holding your DOT, man. And for those of you who got in later and are wondering where to put your money, I now consider Polkadot is a blue chip.
Yeah, man, for sure.
It's a QLab, like get it now. And it's a great opportunity to dollar cost average, but we know that eventually that gets away from you. One of the things they'll pull out from probably a year and a half ago when I was talking about ADA, and I was talking about, buying it at $1.20, like how hard it's going to be to pay $1.20 for it. But I say keep paying that, like keep dollar cost averaging in, just because there'll be new people coming into the market. I mean, they could only dream of getting ADA at 2 cents or 4 cents, or just piling a whole bunch of ADA in at 7 cents each. I mean, that they will never hold the numbers of ADA that a lot of the people on the hobby channel hold, just simply because, like you said, early beats capital. So
Always.
And we're living proof of that. Average everyday people who put in very small amounts on we bet on different horses, and they're all running at different times, and we're all very relaxed about it.
Absolutely. And, if you're new to crypto and maybe you're scratching your head and thinking, I don't know anything about asset, correlation, rotation, it's okay. That's cool. I didn't either when I first started. But as Sam sees it, and as I see it, especially Sam, we're up. I mean, we're just beginning this rocket ride, and we're so excited. Anybody that's even come in the last few weeks or months, I'm so happy for them. Like they're going to be able to take advantage of this wonderful market moving forward. I'm just super excited. Sam, we have a ton of questions today. We have over 45, I think. Care if we go ahead and just jump right into them?
We've got one here with 17 votes from Rahul.
And it says, I would like to know your opinion on the graph, specifically where do you...
That's not the one. It's the one above it. Rahul, 17 votes.
Oh, I'm sorry. On mine, it's the top one. Hold on. Let me...
I can read it.
It's okay. I'll go to that one. Here we go.
Right.
It's my second one, apparently.
Okay.
Hi, Sam. Do you get anything on Shiba Inu, SHIB? It's being termed as a Dogecoin killer and listed on Binance too. Thanks.
Well, I have always made a point of staying away from those projects just because, they're not as likely to survive in the long term. And the reason why I bought Doge when I bought Doge was because I saw it as one of the leading coins in the future. Even though it didn't make any sense, that was one. And I have not gotten information about this SHIB coin. So I'm just going to assume that it's a flash in the pan or not one that I should be running to, because, the worst thing about this type of market is when people are flipping around, like eventually that's going to burn you. So be very careful, like really be very careful. That will burn you. Like the strategy to buy and hold is what's going to work for most people. When you start jumping from one coin to another and trying to time things, that can be really tough. It's different when you're cashing out and you're going to take all the cash out, and then instead you're like, oh, well, I'm going to park it over here in this new stable coin I call Ethereum, right? Because we all know what our cash is going to be worth. But again, I digress. Thanks for the great question, Rahul. I can't tell you whether or not to buy Shibu, but you know what? Hey, let's take a look at how it's moving. The Shiba, because I have looked at it. A lot of people were talking about it, and it's down 26% today. But I mean, it has like big climbs. This is the thing, right? So if you look at the last 30 days, right? If you had gotten in down around here, but see, by the time everyone heard about it, it was more like around here, and it's gone like way up. But now it's just trending down. But, the whole market is trending down as well. It may go for another run up. I don't know. It's not one that was in my sights. That's all I have to say about that. I'm sure a lot of people, if they threw in like $100 or $1,000 at the right time and then jumped off at the right time, then they're very happy. But there's, as you can see from this chart down here, I mean, there's far more people who got wrecked, right? Any down market like this, you can get wrecked.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. Especially on a day like today.
Yeah. And we're all holders too. And that's the thing too. A lot of people ask me about that. And I'm like, well, I would get wrecked in a coin like that because I would hold it. That's how I made so much money in Doge. Like I freaking held it. I just held it with diamond hands like no other. I laugh at them. They talk about diamond hands. I was like, I'm like the original diamond hand lady. No, yeah. I'm sure there's a whole bunch of us that have held it since 2017, and we never sold any, well, except for those ones that my brother-in-law asked me to sell him because people couldn't get into the market. They couldn't buy any ETH.
Right. From our earliest interaction, Sam, we talked about our strategies about what we buy and how long we typically hold them and things like that. And you and I have always been on the same page with that. I don't even really buy something unless I'm planning on, I think it's a good project with a good future that I'm going to hold for a long time. So Shiba would not fit into this, or Akita, or Doge Elon coin, or any of those. No. They would not fit into this category. But let's see what Vitalik's doing, because I think this is a pretty cool move. So as many people out there know, this is one of Vitalik's wallets. He's even got the VB label on it, which is pretty cool. But anyway, a lot of these creators of these Husky tokens and the Akitas and the Shiba Inus, these creators and holders have been sending him tons and tons of these coins. And it's great what he's done, in my opinion. Now, if you hold these coins, I'm sorry, you might be a little offended by this, but I don't mean to do that. But a genius like him, what is he doing with these tokens? So these creators have been sending him these tokens, and he's been turning right around and selling them for ETH, and then donating the ETH to various causes around the world, which I think is pretty cool, especially the India COVID Relief Fund, which is pretty neat. So this one transaction was almost for $1 million. This one's for $500,000. This one's for 640,000. This one's for just over $500,000. So he's been able to donate millions and millions of dollars here to some charities and things, and I think that's absolutely wonderful. I'm actually very, very happy about it. So that's what he's doing. Let's try not to upvote the questions, you guys. We're going to go ahead and get into them now. This next one is from Raymond. I would like to know your opinion on the graph. Specifically, where do you see this coin reaching in the next year? And secondly, where do you see this coin by the end of 2022?
Well, I can't really give a timeline on them because it's hard from the point of view that I'm looking at to say, oh, that's 2022. Oh, this is 2020. I have to kind of judge from the distance that I see these different things. It's really the distance. And the graph. Well, I mean, I think that it's going to be one of the top ones that's being used. And normally those would end up being in the $40 and $50 range. But I wouldn't be surprised if, with the graft being a long-term setup, if it went into a much higher number. I would be out by then, because I started getting it at around, when did we start talking about it? It was 25 cents?
Yeah, I think that's when a lot of it started coming in, anywhere between 25 and basically as soon as it was listed on a major right, I can't read, about 25, between 25 and I think 60 cents. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
So I have a whole bunch that I've just been holding since then. It's gone really high before. It's gone to as high as, what does it say here? I'm just looking at the all-time high was $2.84. So it's actually down 53%. And this is one of the future ones, because people are always asking, what can I buy that's cheap that I can dollar cost average into now? Because people don't have the money to do big lump sums like right now, this second. They're going to have to put it in off of their paycheck. So that's a question that I get probably from about half of the subscribers to the channel. And of course, I'm going to do my research in order to, provide you with the best information that I can get. And, like I said, where Shibu doesn't fit into the plan, just because, that's a crazy making coin. Like that's a handful of people get like really, really stupid rich, and then
everybody else pays the price.
Yeah, but everybody else, within a week or two, is down to half their money. And I like it when I get somebody into crypto, and think about the 7,000 Doge that I sold at just under 7 cents.
Right.
That's way up from what it was. And that's what I'm talking about when I talk about selling off some of your cryptocurrencies that you got a year or two ago for much, much cheaper, because, you want to give other people the opportunity to get involved in the market and make some money. And that's a very positive environment for cryptos. And that's what I'm all about. So I don't believe in holding out to sell off at the top. I prefer to work with you to find good, solid projects that I see in the future surviving. And that is the key, is survival.
Yeah.
And since I see the graph as a survivor,
Yep.
I mean, I don't really know how high it could get. I'm going to be straight with you on that. You know, I mean, the market's just going to get so big because you saw it the other day when the stock market was crashing, the crypto market was going up because the scared money is coming here. And you're starting to see that little flipping of the stock market to cryptos. It's not the same. Oh no, it's not the same at all. And people are like, I'm not letting go of my crypto because, you know, that is going way up. I'm not so sure about Tesla or Netflix or Microsoft or, and you know, whatever it is they're holding, GE.
Yeah. I'd like to, a few of us are technologists, what I would call true technologists up on the boards. And, you know, we love the graph, a lot of us. And they've reached some really cool milestones. So they're up to 10,000 subgraphs now, being deployed by 16,000 developers throughout Uniswap, Synthetics, Aragon, Gnosis, Balancer, LivePure, DAO Stack, AAVE, Decentraland, and tons of others. But they reached a really cool milestone here. Basically, they've surpassed 20 billion queries in April via Web3 usage. So this is just great. You know, if you're a technology person, you understand indexing and why it's so important and how needed it is inside of crypto land. You're excited about this. And you know, what does that mean for price? I don't know what it means for price. Do I know it's going to be used? Do I know that it's necessary? Absolutely, especially in the world that we're going, just like an Oracle, trusted Oracle service like Link or something. Yeah, absolutely. We have to have it to all these wonderful products that you were promised, you know, maybe in 2017, 2015. We need things like this. Otherwise, those cool, amazing things can never happen. So it's great.
Yeah. And I see some comments and I just checked on CoinGecko to see that ADA is running. It's up 29.5% in the last week, and it's up 5.2% just in the last hour. So it's at $1.92.
Yeah, man.
And if that tips over $2, that could go on a really big run. But this is just going back to what we were talking about before, is that the great thing about having the Q Labs and spreading it over these different projects is that we are seeing this trend in the market now that even if it's a down market, like look at Theta. Look at how crazy Theta went when the market was just taking a kicking and Theta was like up, you know, and it was like, so if you owned it, you were very excited, you know, and every single coin pretty much every single coin that we hold has gone on a big run at one point or another, and a couple of runs. And I think that ADA could be setting up for that 10 times run that I felt was, you know, on the way.
Yeah. This is wonderful. Nice. It's up almost 24% versus ETH and up 22% in USD, which is really cool. Let's take a look at this next question here. Hey, Sam and Moo, I hear talking heads so often comparing this bull market cycle to 2017, 2018 with a blow-off top. And this is from Dale. So first of all, Dale, these cycles are very predictable based upon the halving. That's where you're getting a lot of this talk. So they're basing it on math. They're not psychics or anything like that. I even read a comment calling 2022 a crypto winter. I don't know if I'd call it that. Where do you see the end point for this current bull market? So Dale would like to know, based upon the talking heads talking about natural math cycles, where do you see the end point for this current bull market?
The latter part of the 2020s.
Okay.
And it's not going to crash or anything. It's just going to like become normal, like, you know, so that, you know, you get like a normal return on your investment. But right now, the cryptos are going to reflect that there's a few things going on at one time. First of all, you can start to see frightened money starting to really flow into cryptos on top of the greedy money. Yeah. Because people like Grayscale's in there and, you know, all of these companies who said horrible things about cryptos and Bitcoin a couple of years ago. And, you know, and we were all hanging out back then, and it was scary when they were saying that, but I was like, but that doesn't fit with what I'm seeing. That doesn't fit with the story, you know, and now we see them getting involved in it. And I see the bull market lasting a really long time, but it's not like there's not going to be, it's just, I call them dips, because it would be a mistake to cash out your cryptos for, let's say, a pullback that lasts maybe a month or two when you're talking about like, you know, an 8-year bull market. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
Sure.
you won't find the bottom and the top for that. So just do what I did, for God's sake. Like, just buy it here and sell it there, and all this stuff in between. Just, you know, just be here with your cup of tea like me, just waiting to press that button. It's worked out pretty good so far. So that's what I would advise. That's a great question, Dale. Thank you.
It is. It's a wonderful question.
It got 15 votes. So good job, Dale.
Now, as we reach this natural math model, you're going to hear more and more people talk about this. So I think it's important to understand Sam's view. It's important to listen to, you know, lots of different views on this subject. Raoul Paul believes Sam, right? So very much on the same page with Sam, that yes, these cycles are predictable and it's just math, but he believes we're in a different day and time now. So with all this money coming in and adoption and rotations and just to build out of this whole ecosystem, believes that, you know, it will probably break the model this time. But real quick, I just want to kind of show where this comes from, and I don't want to spend much time on this. It's just these normal mathematical cycles are the thing that predict, and this is what the people are talking about. And as Human Avatar chimes in there over on the right side, you know, those are just talking heads. The truth is, a lot of this talk is coming from talking heads, but the math comes from very sophisticated, very intelligent quants and mathematicians. Yeah, I actually believe we're in a new day and time as well. Well,
we already talked about that like 2 years ago.
Yep.
And I was explaining that it's not going to be like anything ever before. You know, the largest transfer of wealth in the history of mankind. Like, what do you think that you can compare it to anything else? And that's where I come in. That's where my abilities come in, because nobody called Doge, you know, a couple of years ago, because it was
you're the only one.
Joke coin, a meme coin. But somebody who can stick their head up in the ethos and go, what do I? Oh, yeah. Okay. I recognize that one. Okay. Put some money on that one and just hold it. Right? What's the worst that can happen? Okay, I can lose my initial investment, but I didn't put in anything that I couldn't afford to lose.
Right. Right. You remember that article I showed you from 2014 on the Psychic Nerds that one day? And a guy sold his house for Doge. And the article was just ripping to pieces, like just saying how silly he was and what a foolish thing to do. And so it's kind of funny. So maybe you and him were the only ones that knew. Anyway, this next one is for Scott, from Scott. What are your current feelings about Electroneum going forward? This might be the biggest underperformer to date of the coins Sam owns or likes, still 90% under its all-time high.
Oh, yeah. Well, I have not sold any of my Electroneum. If I had to guess a month that we were going to see it fly or that big news was going to come out, it's a January. I got that picture pretty big, but I felt like it was in the future, because I felt like with most of the ICOs, it would be like probably 4 years that I would have to hold them. There's one ICO I bought into. It's doing really well, and that is Locktrip. And they have a partnership with Hydra. And they're doing a Hydra drop, and you just have to hold your Locktrip into the Hydra wallet. And I was like, wow, that's a really great idea as far as marketing, because it makes people hold their Locktrip, because the price is going up. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to sell it, because the longer I hold it in my Hydra wallet, then I get a drop that, and it runs over 50 weeks, but we're already, I think, 6 weeks have already passed, but still plenty weeks left. If anybody's got some Locktrip out there, because I did mention that like way back when it was like nothing, and I was just talking about not selling it because I had made an agreement that the ICOs, I would hold them for 4 years. And the reason why I bring that up is because Electroneum, I also bought into as an ICO, and I was told by the people on the other side 4 years. And you're like, and a lot of people would say, well, you know, Sam, why don't you just put the money into something else and then buy it when it's still cheap before it just goes up? And I was like, well, you know, maybe you would do that, but you know, it's a lot easier just to spread your money out and then just to watch it grow and then cash out at the different times. And you know, I do it the lazy way, and I hope that works out for everybody else too, because I'm very hesitant to, you know, do this hopping around. Now, that all that being said, when I scoop out some theta, I'm probably not going to take 100% of it. I'm probably going to put some more money into like Superfarm, Reef, XYO, the ones that I see for later on, down the road.
Thanks, Sam. Appreciate that. What did I want to say?